umayowelisa izambezi uyena wabize ngokuthi ayilutuli detachment. Sonke siyazi ukuthi lamasosha alwa kakhulu. These combatants of Umkhonto wesizwe, together with those of Zebra, they fought against Smith in Hwange and Spolilo. And they were so gallant in their fighting that Smith was forced to come and seek reinforcement from South Africa. And many of those soldiers who survived were arrested and were kept in prison in Zimbabwe. And some others who survived, such as Comrade Chris Hani, went back to report to the leadership. This is how, comrades, when the difficulties were experienced in the camps, Comrade Chris Hani wrote a memorandum which is called the Hani Memorandum. And that ultimately resulted in the Morogoro Conference. Lenkonfa seMorogoro ma-comrades yona yenza ukuthi kube khona umhlahlandlela ukuthi umzabalazo uyaphambili sowenza kazoqhubeka kanjani nawo. Ngenxa yokuthi kwakuney'ngxaki ezinkulu kwaba nomsindo ngaleso sikhathi kuleyo nkonfa kwaze kwagcina kuwukuthi uPresident Oliver Tambo wakwathi uyaresign isikhashana. Kodwa wabuye wancengwa kwaqhutshekwa kwasiyakhethwa ukuthi abe umongameli engoba sekushone uPresident uLthuli wayebhenishiwe ngaleso sikhathi. Namhlanje uma sicabanga zonke inhlelo zokulwa umzabalazo wethu sisusela kule Morogoro Conference. That is when the strategy and tactics were defined in terms of how we should take the struggle forward. Ngaleyo ndlela ke ma-comrades, we honor Comrade Tambo for assisting the organization to navigate through difficult times. There was no hope. There was no organization inside the country after all the leaders were smashed and they were put in, after their machinery was smashed, the high command was dismantled and all the other leaders were sent to Robben Island. Because of all of that, it was a difficult time for the ANC. There was no hope inside the country until the underground movement was again resuscitated. This, of course, was given a lot of impetus by the 1976 youth uprising. And this, again, the leadership of President O.R. Tambo assisted to guide us and take the struggle forward. So we always remember Comrade Tambo for the work he did, as he was very much loved for his humility and selfless dedication to our struggle, was also respected for his honesty and the integrity of his leadership, which reflected the best values of our Congress movement. And in other words, we can say that Comrade Tambo's personal conduct also added the stature to the African National Congress. He was noted for his wisdom and grace and powerful intuition. Ngiyakhumbula ukuthi uma sibuya qeda ukuthi inhlangano zivulwe umlomo, wathi uma efika wayesethi noma besinengxaki kodwa zange silimazane ngenxa yokuthi sasibuye singezwani njengoba sibona izinto zihamba kancane singaphandle. Futhi asizimisele ukuthi silungise amaphutha ethu ngale ndlela ezokwenza ukuthi sikwazi ukuqhubekela phambili. Kodwa okukhulu sakwazi ukuthi sihlale simanyene noma kwasekumnyama kakhulu, kodwa sikaze singabaze ukuthi ekugcineni abantu bakithi bayonqoba ubandlululo. These were the words of President Tambo. We did not tear ourselves apart at times for lack of progress. We were always ready to accept mistakes and correct them. Above all, we have succeeded to foster and defend our unity. In bleak moments, we never in doubt that our people shall triumph. Our lesson from President Tambo is that ANC must build its unity of vigorous and critical expression of divergent views. Diverse views put together are a convincing understanding of our political situation and how best to resolve our challenges, which means it is important for us to open that space for debate. President Tambo also understood that our alliance was sacrosanct, and he dedicated enormous attention of preserving the unity of our alliance. White mechaza umbimbi lwe-ANC athi akulona umbimbi lolo lwakhiwa ngokuthi abaholi bahlangane emahhovisi basayine amaphepha. Umbimbi lolo lwakhiwa ngokuthi kuchitheke igazi, kuphume izithukuthuku emzabalazweni. Ngakho-ke lungaphezulu kwesivumelwano sabaholi, kodwa lusho ukuthi abantu phansi bayazi ukuthi lezi inhlaka mazibambene kuzoba khona impumelelo. Kodwa-ke wayekwazi ukubona kakhulu phambili, ngoba wayekwazi ukubona izinto ezingakenzeki. As far back as in 1970, Comrade Oliver Tambo warned us about the challenges that we were likely to face under the new democratic order. In this case, he is speaking in Angola, he said, I quote, "Comrades, you might think it's very difficult to wage a liberation struggle. Wait until you are in power. At that stage, you will realize that it is actually more difficult to keep power than to wage a liberation war. People will be expecting a lot of services from you. You will have to satisfy the various demands of our people," unquote. Today we can see what President Tambo was talking about. The ANC has done outstanding work in the past 23 years in delivering services such as houses, water, roads, sanitation, and various aspects of our social safety net. Many of our people still live in shacks without decent housing and no access to water, and still await electricity, and are without land as we endeavor to clear the backlog of apartheid. So we need to understand that there is a lot of outstanding work that we still have to do. So when our people raise these issues, it is valid criticism, but it's also mixed with the level of expectations that have been generated by the fact that we now have our own government. I think it's important for all of us to know that the survival of our organization does depend squarely on how our membership, or our leadership and our membership conduct themselves. Ezinye zezinto ezenza ukuthi abantu bagcina beba nokuphelelwa ukubekezela kwenziwa ukuthi nokuba kukuningi esikwenzile njengokhongolose, uhulumeni kakhongolose, kodwa usekuningi okusafuna ukwenziwa. Bese kuthi uma bebona indlela abanye abaholi abaziphatha ngayo emazingeni ahlukene, bese lokho kubenza babe ukuphelelwa isineke ngokuthi mhlawumbe abasasinakile njengoba sebeziphethe ngalendlela. Enye into engifuna siyikhumbule esho uPresident Oliver Tambo wathi akukho inhlangano enkulu enamandla ngokwanele ukuthi ingakwazi ukunqoba ihlukaniso ANC ngaphandle kokuthi yena uANC uzihlukanise wona. There is no political force that can ever destroy the African National Congress. It is only the ANC that can destroy itself. Through this warning, President Tambo was drawing our attention to the fact that our ability to withstand external attacks and criticism would depend to a greater extent on whether we can maintain a convincing and superior political agenda in the eyes of our people. Today I'm here to say to you, we must invoke the memory of President Oliver Tambo as an inspiration for the renewal and the rebuilding of our unity, renewal of the African National Congress and the rebuilding of the unity of the African National Congress, as well as its alliance and all the people of South Africa. Kufanele siwahloniphe lamazwi ukuze kungathi lento ebeyishiwo uPresident Tambo igcina seyenzeka ngempela. What is important for us is to avoid these words to turn into a self-fulfilling prophecy. The turbulent and unpredictable environment during Tambo's era required strong leadership with the ability to correctly read the situation and pull the organization together towards a common vision and plan of action. He succeeded to keep this organization and its culture intact and kept its members united. Today, the African National Congress requires the wisdom of President Oliver Tambo, the courage of Comrade Nelson Mandela to reverse a downward spiral, because this is not the time for the ANC to lose power. It will not be in the interest of the people of South Africa. It will not be in the interest of the ANC or our country for the ANC to go down. The ANC, therefore, must know that the ANC does not just belong to its members and its leaders. It belongs to all the people of South Africa. Uko konke sikwenzayo kufanele senze isiqiniseko sokuthi ANC uyakhula uyaqina awulimali futhi awushoni phansi. Ngaleyo ndlela kubalulekile ukuthi sazi ukuthi uANC owabantu bonke base South Africa omele basebenzele. The ANC belongs to all the people of South Africa. All of us who are privileged to lead must always be reminded that this movement of our people was created to serve South Africans, not those who occupy the positions of leadership. And we must remember the quote that says, "Leaders may come and go, but the masses will always be there." In other words, it should not be because of our leadership or our members of the ANC that we deprive our community, our South African people, of this weapon for transforming their lives and improving their lives for the better and ushering in economic freedom in our lifetime and a prosperous South Africa in our lifetime. Therefore, njengamalunga ka-ANC kufanele siyixoxe kahle ngokubonisana indaba yokwakha ubuholi be-ANC, ngoba iyona into ezobaluleka kakhulu kulesikhathi esihamba kuso ukuthi abaholi abazokhethwa bakwazi ukusihola esimweni esinzima esicishe sifane naleso President Oliver Tambo ayehola ngaphansi kwaso. Kakhulukazi ma-comrades ase-Gauteng, abantu kufanele sivumelane ukuthi unity ye-ANC e-Gauteng nase-South Africa ibaluleke kakhulu ukuze sikwazi ukulanda le masipala abesihlulekile ukubathola. Ngiyayivuma lento eshiwo comrade ukuthi ukuze sikwazi ukubuyisa iTshwane, iJohannesburg, Nelson Mandela Bay nami neminye imikhandlu entengantengayo, senze isiqiniseko sokuthi uANC uyabusa ngo-2019. The victory of the ANC in 2019 will start in Gauteng. The victory of the ANC in 2019 depends on how well we are able to reactivate the support of the ANC in Tshwane, in Johannesburg, in Ekurhuleni, and in Gauteng in general, of course, and the rest of the country. And therefore, when we talk about the unity of the ANC, that is what will help to guide us to ensure that we retain those towns and municipalities that we had won in the last elections, but that we take over those that we had lost. So we must tell up Gauteng, funa stella sazi ukuthi victory in 2019 will start here in Gauteng. The numbers of voters in this province are so many that unless we mobilize so many of them to vote for the African National Congress, 2019 is going to become a big challenge. And part of reactivating the memories of Comrade Oliver Tambo is to say to us, we are now facing challenges that might be different but of almost similar magnitude as those that were faced by the leaders that were able to take us through the difficulties that our struggle has gone through in the past. So as part of honoring Oliver Tambo, we need to unite the ANC. I therefore want to say to you, let us rebuild our ANC by making the right choices. We need to choose leaders who are going to be at the top of the organization, to unite the organization and unite all the people of South Africa. We need people who are going to be able to stand on the ground and stand together with all our people during the difficult times. We need to make sure that we choose leaders who will always remember that it's important for us to deliver on the promises that we have made to all our people. Enye izinto esihlupha kakhulu ngaphakathi enhlanganweni inkinga ye-membership system. Engicabanga ukuthi kufanele sonke siyilungise lento ngoba abantu abaningi bakhala ngokuthi nami ngiyilunga kodwa angiyitholanga i-membership card. Enye izinto engicabanga kufanele siyisebenze silungise kakhulukazi kulo nyaka. We also need to make sure that we remove all the obstacles that the branches have in expressing their views, particularly their preferences. Solve the problem of membership and all the other challenges of quorums that we normally face, and stop what is called signature campaigns. And we cannot have people who will go into meetings, hold meetings at midnight, and then go around signing people up as though they attended the meetings. Leyo nkinga yenza ukuthi abantu bangakwazi ukuthi bazoqhubeka kanjani bakhombise ukuthi le nhlangano yabo mangabe kuhlangana imhlangano bese kusayinwa nje ukuthi bebekhona kanti bebengekho. But we must also make sure that those who have done wrong within the party and every level of our governance and society are held accountable. Let us focus on disciplining all those who are wrong to us. As ANC members, we must rise to take charge of our organization, the ANC, and root out rotten elements who bring the ANC to disrepute. We must ensure that the coming 54th conference of the ANC focuses on the renewal of the ANC. Strengthen our movement as an instrument for improving the lives of our people. And I'm sure, Jabakchot, I'm a volunteer. Myself, yourself, we must offer ourselves to be those volunteers that are going to be in the forefront of ensuring that we clean up the image of the African National Congress and make it look the way we would like all our people to be proud of the organization. So we must therefore work for unity in the coming conference of the ANC. We cannot purposefully create divisions and force factionalism in our structures and drive the ANC to a head-on collision and hope that miraculously the 54th conference will emerge with a united ANC. As you know, what you put into the conference is what will emerge out of the conference. Like we say with the computer, garbage in, garbage out. So we can equally have our conference having a problem of factions in, factions out. In this sequel of that is that we will end up with factional purging and a irreparable split in the organization and the loss of power. We can't accept that. So all of us must be determined to fix the African National Congress and ensure that when we get to the conferences, in the national conference, we have dismantled those factions. The ANC cannot lose power. We can't allow the ANC to lose power, because it will not be because the ANC has got no support. It will be because we have allowed other interests to supersede the service to our people. We must say no to that. We must go to the conference to unite the ANC, correct all the wrongdoings and the weaknesses. Dividing the ANC is not an option. We can be united even as we deal with ill discipline, as we deal with corruption, as we deal with factionalism, as we deal with divisions and arrogance. We must deal with all of those. So, but being united does not mean we turn a blind eye to all those problems that are plaguing our organization. Unity must be built around a program to build our branches and ensure that they are respected and they are given political education, and we ensure that the branches of the ANC are strong. Such branches must be able to, must be a platform for free expression of ideas and the tolerance for different views. Ema branchini akufanele kube umuntu osaba ukukhuluma. Siyasithi uma ngabe kwi-branch umbono wakho ubalulekile, akekho umuntu esithi uyabheda wena. Uma ubheda ebranchini ka-ANC, ubheda endaweni efanele, ngoba lapho kufanele ubeke umbono wakho khona. Akungabi khona abantu abosiyazi osazi konke abazokuvala ukuthi hayi le ikhona into oyishoyo. Uma ingekho into oyishoyo, fundiswa ngendlela, ngoba into ekwenza ubaluleke njengelunga lika-ANC ukuthi umuntu ngamunye uhlukile komunye, unomqondo wakhe, unomcabango wakhe, unombono wakhe, ungaswenza ukuthi u-ANC uqhubekele phambili. NgesiZulu siyasithi elempofana liyagcina. Ngamanye amazwi, there is no view that is so insignificant that it must be suppressed or ignored. We must share all the views, and at the end of it, having examined all the ideas that are available as a proposed solution for the problem, we can then say we can take this view and take the organization forward. Mawenze njalo, wenza ukuthi noba kade engayiboni into afunde kusasa uzofundisa abanye. Wenza futhi ukuthi uma kunenkinga akungabi khona umuntu okuthiwa thulani nina koze kufisa abantu banazosixazulula. Akukho umuntu okuthiwa ubuhlakani bokukhanda inhlangano babekwa kuye, abanye kufanele balandele nje, bangabuzi nombuzo, bangabeki imbono. Ama-branch ka-ANC mawavuleke-ke, avuleke wonke umuntu. Ikhumbule ingoma yethu esihlale siyicula, amandla Angesikhumbuzane lapho ukuthi le inhlangano yamalunga akuyona yabaholi. Inhlangano yamalunga abaholi sibakhethela ukuthi basise phambili, kodwa kungabi khona umholi noma isebranchini noma umasipala noma izinga lahulumeni noma izinga lenhlangano okuzothiwa uye abanye abantu abanalizwi, amandla asemasebeni. We must therefore commit to dismantle all the factions and uproot all the rogue behavior inside the African National Congress. Factions and divisions are perpetrated by access to resources and the interest of those who wish to abuse the power of the authority to which they have been elevated. Now we cannot. Factions act as a Berlin Wall to protect those who want to continue with maladministration, irregularities, and corruption. So So we can't allow a wall to protect the corruptors, the corruptees, and anyone who's part of that network. When leaders do wrong, they do know that they are doing wrong. Ayikho into yokuthi uma wona umhola ubona ukuthi uyona. Uma ngabe umholi wona usuke wazi ukuthi uyona. Ngakho ke kubalulekile ukuthi sithi sifuna abaholi abazothi mabenza abakwenzayo bakwenze ngendlela efanele noma ngaba bagadwe umuntu. It's important for us to bring that message that we need the leaders who will not do wrong even if no one is watching. That's why the leaders are elected. Ngamanye amazwi ukuze silungise le nhlangano kufanele sikwenze kucace nje. Inhlangano le ka-ANC yabantu abathembekile, yabantu abazihloniphayo, yabantu abahlonishwayo, akuyona inhlangano yotsotsi nosihlanu. So we need to show South Africa, as the ANC, we must show South Africa and the world that we are a proud, strong, and effective African National Congress. An ANC that has at its core people who are competent and who lead with integrity and lead by example. We need to show South Africa and the world that we as the ANC are the ANC that will demand that government and its institutions will deliver on the party mandate and the needs of our people. We need the whole world to know that this ANC is the ANC that they have trusted, that they must continue to trust, because it is trustworthy and it will continue to be an organization they can safely put their confidence in. Of the ANC, eyabantu, i-ANC ithenjwe ngabantu, i-ANC ihlonishwe ngabantu, ngoba nina njengamalungu ale nhlangano sizokusukumela lezi siqiniseko sokuthi abantu abasiholayo baphakamisa kakhulu ukusebenzela umphakathi, nokuthenjwa umphakathi, nokuhlonishwa umphakathi. In this milestone year, as we prepare to elect leadership, we must also hold dear the truth of Oliver Tambo, that we will create a democracy that will serve the people of South Africa. And in that spirit also, we need to make sure that we work for the unity of the ANC and its leadership and its alliance, particularly SACP, COSATU, SANCO, and different other formations in the society. At the moment, there are 3 issues that have been raised that are causing the tension amongst the alliance partners. One of those is the issue around the accusations of state capture. The other one is the demand for the president to step down. The other one is the manner in which we're managing the leadership succession. I don't intend to go into all of these issues other than to say the leadership is engaging so that we can restore the unity of the alliance and so that all the structures in the alliance work together. And in particular, we need the unity of the alliance to make sure that we build a strong ANC. If the ANC is divided, the alliance will be divided. If the ANC is united, the alliance will be united. And that is the formula for winning elections in 2019 and beyond. And so we need to focus on that particular issue. On the issue that has been raised around the state capture and those allegations that are full all over the media, the ANC, NEC has strongly supported the formation of a commission of inquiry to investigate this matter and ensure that all those whose names are mentioned, they can actually be examined by a non-partisan body that will give us ultimately what the findings are about this matter. These emails that have come out and all the statements that we read in the media are a huge embarrassment. And therefore, as the ANC, we want to make sure that we get to the bottom of this particular issue. And I think it's important also that we say to ourselves, those whose names are being raised in these emails, we expect that they will go up, they'll step forward to clear their names and ensure that they make themselves available in that particular commission of inquiry so that we know what the truth is. We as ANC consider any form of capture, whether by individuals, families, companies, or any government, foreign government or whatever, that is a form of corruption. It's a subversion of the will of our people, and we will not accept it. And so all of us must stand together to reject any notion of state capture. So we hope that also, as some of you were part of the conference, sizokhumbula ukuthi enkonfereni esivela kuyo sekukhona iziphakamiso ezithi abantu abathintekayo ezintweni ezehlisa isithunzi senhlangano kufanele basheshe banikwe ithuba lokuthi lezo zinto bazicacise noma babuyele eceleni isikhashana kuze kudlule lento ephazamisayo kuze kungabi khona izinto ezithi zihluphe umuntu othile bese zihlupha nenhlangano kanjalo. That issue, we are hoping, that was a recommendation that came from the last conference, and we hope that it will be supported in the next 54th conference coming in December. Uma siyakha lenhlangano siyiqinisa sivuselela konke okwayo ama-values ayo nokuhlonipheka kwayo. Sifuna kube inhlangano ezokwenza ukuthi wonke umuntu ayihloniphe inhlangano ka-ANC njengoba ibihlala ihlonipheka. Ihlonishwe ngaphakathi, ihlonishwe ezweni lonke laseNingizimu Afrika, ihlonishwe umhlaba wonke. Yithi-ke singamalunga lenhlangano singakwazi ukuthi lokho kwenzeke. Ukuba sibe nesiqiniseko sokuthi umuntu ke ozobe sebuholini uyazi ukuthi sibhekisisa kakhulu ukuthi makahole ngobuqotho, makahole ngendlela efanele. Ngaleyo ndlela futhi kufanele sazi ukuthi u-ANC abantu abathumela kuhulumeni bayeba abantu abazokwazi ukuphendula uma kunezinto ezixake umphakathi zaxaka no-ANC. This ANC needs to make sure that all those who are in government are accountable to our people first and foremost and are answerable to the African National Congress as well. We need to strengthen that aspect so that we do not have challenges that come from government and embarrass the African National Congress. We need to deal with all of those issues. We need to ensure that we promise our people a stronger and more efficient government. And therefore, we must also say, part of celebrating the life of President Tambo is honoring and respecting the Constitution of South Africa. That Constitution, uComrade Albie Sachs, bekathi mayikhuluma ngale Constitution athi bekwakuyingane le igama layo ku-Constitution sekuthiwa kuthathwa igazi ukuthi ubani uyise bekotholakala ukuthi hayi ikhomba ngokusobala ukuthi i-DNA yayo eka-President Oliver Tambo. Ngakho uma kunento esiyibonayo eyenziwayo noma engaphansi kwalo mthethosisekelo sibokwazi ukuthi imisebenzi yenziwa uPresident Oliver Tambo nakuba i-Constitution yezwe yathi qambe iphasa wangasekho yena kodwa wayenza isiqiniseko sokuthi iyaphasa igcina yelo msebenzi kwenziwe lo msebenzi ofanele. Part of what needs to be celebrated in that Constitution is the creation of a non-racial South Africa. Non-racialism belongs to the African National Congress. And for that reason, we need to be making sure that racism is buried dead and buried, so that we do not tolerate any form of the racist attacks that we have seen in the past few months and some of the utterances that we have seen. We've seen a number of things that show that racists are becoming bolder, and that is an insult to our constitution. We need to therefore make sure that the spirit of Oliver Tambo is played out in the equality and human rights culture that we foster in all our people, and that those who have racist tendencies are actually arrested, charged, and jailed, and we make it clear that there is no way we can tolerate any form of racism. Similarly, the crime and violence in our country, particularly targeted to women and children, has to be eliminated in our country. In the last NEC, ANC yathi asenze uhlelo lokuthi kube nomkhankaso wokulwa nokudlova nokulinyazwa kwabantu besifazane nezingane. Let's take that campaign in the name of President Oliver Tambo. We need to therefore make sure that the government is clearly seen as a champion of the Constitution, as the ANC is. That at the end of the day, we will ensure that our leaders do everything to ensure that they deliver on the party mandate. We must also make sure that we strengthen our government so that no one loses hope when they come into contact with the members of our government. So I want to say to you today, let's stand together and restore the hope on the African National Congress. Our people don't expect the ANC government to solve all the problems, but they expect the ANC they expect that the ANC must show that it cares enough to make a difference. Ours is to create a caring and compassionate society and a prosperous country. This is what President Oliver Tambo would have liked to see happening in South Africa. Long after he's gone, we need to make sure that we carry that torch to take South Africa to prosperity. We need to also make sure that our leaders, ama-councillor, ayawenza umsebenzi. Basibheka ukuze silahlekelwe amaward amanye, ukhona ukuthi ama-councillor amanye noma abaholi abasimele abakwazi ukunaka iy'mfuno zomphakathi. Some of our leaders and some of our representatives are being accused of being arrogant. This we need to deal with, because for the ANC to lead, it needs leaders who are humble servants of our people. Ngaleyo ndlela sobe simkhumbule uOliver Tambo nangendlela abesebenza ngayo ngobuholi bakhe obuyisibonelo. This ANC and its government must work very hard to rebuild the economy of South Africa. Njengamanje inkinga esinayo ukuthi ipoverty inkulu kakhulu kubantu bakithi. Abantu abaningi abancane abasebenzi. Ile izinga lokungasebenzi enyukele cishe lifike 30%. Yonke lonto eyingxaki. Ezinye zezinto engicabanga ukubalulekile ukuthi masebenza kule nkonzo ezayo siphume nezinqumo ezikhombisayo ukuthi lo mnotho sizowakha. Lo mnotho sizowakha emadolobheni nasema township, emalokishini nasemakhaya. Uma kuthiwa umnotho awukhule, kwakhiwe izitolo, kwakhiwe amafemu, bekhona abantu abazozakhela awabo amabhizinisi bawakhe emadolobheni nasemakhaya. Kungabi ukuthi umnotho uyakhula esentini, kodwa mase ufika Thokoza ufana nangaphambi kwa94. Uma ngabe uyahamba uyobheka kunendawo eziningi ezikhulayo uma uyaphakathi nedolobha, lo mnotho ubuye uzobonakala nalapha phakathi kwethu. Asikwazi ukuthi kube khona abantu abaningi okuyibona abayiningi eSouth Africa, kodwa umnotho ube sezandleni zabantu abayingcosana. Ingakho ke sikhuluma ngokuthi alube khona lolu guquko lokuphathwa komnotho. So it's important for us therefore to say this ANC has to work for growth. This economy, we need to ensure that we deal with and reverse everything that brought about recession. We must reverse this downgrade. We must reverse zonke lezi zinto ezenza ukuthi umnotho wethu usebenze kabi. Ngoba uma ngabe abantu bengasebenzi, umnotho uhamba uphansi, benza ukusolakala ukuthi ANC khona okuronke kwenzayo. noma ngabe umnotho uxakwe izimo ezingaphandle kwezwe ezingaphezulu kwamandla kwa-ANC. We need to work very hard to make sure that this concept of radical economic transformation brings the ownership and the control of the economy to you, to our people, in the townships, in the villages, in town, all over. Radical economic transformation is the way towards prosperity in South Africa. Therefore, to correct this economy, you need a strong ANC. That is important. There's a whole issue around bringing the land back to our people. That issue has been discussed quite a lot. There's a serious grievance about the shortage of land. This ANC needs to make sure that land is brought back to our people. These are some of the issues that we have discussed in the conference. Therefore, the issues of education and health are issues that are important also in building this economy. We must make sure we work on all of these. Ngaleyo ndlela ke sithi kunina maqabane kubalulekile ukuthi sazi ukuthi yonke into izoqala ngale branch. Kwakheke le branch ezoba strong, ezokwazi ukukhomba umholi ukuthi uhamba ngendlela noma uphumile endleleni. Le branch kufanele ukuthi mayisehlangene akwazi ukusakhela i-ANC strong ezokwenza ukuthi noma ubani okhethiwe azi ukuthi ngisebenzela abantu angisebenzeli mina. Uma sikwazi ukwenza njalo siyokwenza ukuthi abantu bakwazi ukuwela ithemba kule ANC. Uma siyakha leyo ANC base siqiniseka sokuthi iyabumbana ngoba lama factions iwona enza ukuthi lento eningi singenziwe. Ukhona imikhandlu ehlelo ukusebenza ngenxa lama factions okufanele siwaqede. Uma siya enkonference ka-2017 kufanele masibuwela ngale kwayo qala uJanuary wonke umuntu wase-South Africa abecula ethi haleluya i-ANC ivukile, ANC iqinile, ANC izosithatha isisephambili ezweni lesithembiso elinokunethezeka elinokunakekela. We need this ANC to continue the mission of our revolution, and that is to change the lives of South Africa for the better, to change the lives of all South Africans in a way that make everyone understand why it was worth the sacrifices of President Oliver Tambo and all of those leaders who led with him and those comrades who laid down their lives because they hoped that their life, like Solomon Mahlangu, it will water the tree of freedom, and that all of us remaining now will be enjoying the fruit of freedom. It's up to us, comrades. We can rebuild this ANC. We can ensure that we rebuild the confidence. We can make sure that the ANC continues to grow, that the ANC continues to win elections, that this ANC continues to be the hope of all our people. Amandla! Long live the member of Comrade Oliver Tambo, long live!